Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw, here to talk a little college football. Today we'll concentrate on three different conference title games. We'll start off with the one with the least national implications. That'll be the ACC title game between Boston College and Virginia Tech. Once again, no teams from the Sunshine State to be found. Maybe next year, Florida State and Miami. As far as what to expect this year, well, Virginia Tech barely found their way into this game. They lost in the beginning against East Carolina, won a couple of games, lost a couple of games, then backed their way in by winning the final two games with a little help from their friends. As far as Boston College, they were not expected to make it in this game. They had Matt Ryan drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. He's doing very well, by the way. As far as Boston College, they had some injuries to the quarterback position, yet here they are today because of some very good defense and very good coaching as well. Got to give their coach some love. Now, Boston College has been very good recently. In fact, they're definitely the hotter team in the nation in this one. In fact, they're the only team that's currently ranked in the top 25 according to the AP poll between the two teams contending. Now, they won the game against Virginia Tech in the regular season, but then again, they did the same thing last year as well. But this time, I do expect a change. Boston College should win this one by 7 points for their first ACC title as well as their first BCS Bowl appearance. Next up, we're talking some SEC title football, and I hate to do this to you Gator fans, but consider this, and this is shocking, and there would be some bedlam if the event this does occur. There's a chance that the Florida Gators might actually win this game against the undefeated Alabama and still not make it to the national title game. We'll get to that in a little bit, but some scary implications there. Now, in the event that they do win, they're going to have to overcome the fact that right now Percy Harvin is far from 100%. He's got a sprained ankle, and even if he does play, you have to wonder whether he'll be a decoy or whether he'll be the playmaker that Gator fans know and love. Now, either way, Tim Tebow will be there, but a couple of bad issues on defense. Two defensive linemen who were good earlier in the season, played against Florida State, ended up getting injured and aggravated injuries in that game, and therefore will not be available in this game. As far as Alabama, they're your typical boring winner. They keep the ball on the ground, they eat up the clock, they limit their mistakes, and they also don't allow the opposition to score. Sounds pretty good and everything, but the Florida Gators have scored 40 or more points in 7 straight games, and every game since that loss to Ole Miss, they've won by at least 4 touchdowns. I recite that stat every single week, but they continue to win by 4 more touchdowns, most recently against the Florida State Seminoles. So what to expect in this one? As I said before, Tebow will be healthy, he'll be there, he'll perform the best of all of them, because in my opinion, he remains the best player in college football, and for that very reason, the Gators win, but not by 4 touchdowns. Expect UF to win by 10 points, and then we'll discuss whether or not they'll be in the national title game. Next up, let's talk a little Big 12 football, and believe it or not, this might be not be the last time two Big 12 teams are meeting up. As I said before, there's a chance that Texas might remain ranked ahead of the Florida Gators, and in that case, if Oklahoma wins this weekend, we'll get a shot to play against them once again. Now, Oklahoma comes in one of the best in the nation, we know that, but there are some concerns. Sam Bradford hurt his non-throwing hand, and because of that, he's going to be wearing a soft cast. That injury did lead to 2 fumbles last week, one of which he did recover. But this is a team that scored 58 or more points in 6 straight games, and for the season is averaging greater than 50 points per game. As far as Mizzou, they don't have that type of offense. In fact, they just lost to Kansas 40-37, but you could argue that they were simply looking ahead for this big game. It is possible, after all, they did know that they were going to be in this one. Now, last time these two teams met up, it was rather interesting because it was Missouri hoping for a national title appearance, and it was Oklahoma coming in and shocking them and winning that game and preventing any of that from occurring. Perhaps we'll see some redemption here by Mizzou. Personally, I doubt it. I like Oklahoma to win by at least 20 points. Well, my friends, It's a Shaw Thing for now. Next week, we'll have plenty of controversy to discuss as we discuss whether Texas should be ahead of Florida, Florida should be ahead of Texas, and what happens between Oklahoma and Texas. Interesting stuff. Well, my friends, until then, have a good weekend.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.